Hey, it's Mr. Hasquin, and I'm back with more of those things you should know just by being alive, President's Edition. Um, if you guys know if you know me well, you may know that I do talk a lot, and so today's video may actually be longer than this man's term as president. But today I want to talk about William Henry Harrison. So let's talk about the man who has the record for the longest presidential inauguration speech and the shortest presidency. So, ninth president of the United States, and possibly one of the most ironic stories in American political history. So, Harrison was born in 1773 into a wealthy Virginia family, and his father signed the Declaration of Independence. So, he comes from revolutionary stock. But Harrison made his own name as a military leader. If you've heard of the Battle of Tippecanoe, that was him. He fought Native American forces led by the Shawnee leader Tecumseh and his brother, the prophet Tenskwatawa. And that battle made him a national hero, so much so that the 1840 campaign slogan for his presidential run was Tippecanoe and Tyler too. The 1840 campaign was a game changer. It was one of the first modern style campaigns. You had catchy slogans, campaign songs, log cabin imagery, parades. They painted Harrison as a rugged frontiersman who drank hard cider, even though, fun fact, he was actually wealthy and educated. It was all about image. His opponent, Martin Van Buren, got painted as an elite snob, and it worked. Harrison won in a landslide. Now, here's where things kind of take a turn. Harrison was 68 years old at the time, the oldest president to take office until Ronald Reagan came along. And Harrison wanted to prove his toughness. And so on Inauguration Day, he gave a 2-hour speech in freezing cold March weather, no coat, no hat, bad idea. Within a few weeks, Harrison got sick, pneumonia, they think, and he died just 31 days after taking office. The shortest presidency in U.S. history. His death caused a constitutional crisis because the line of succession wasn't entirely clear. His vice president, John Tyler, kind of said, "I'm the president now." See, the Constitution said that if the president's office should be vacated, the vice president would become the acting president. But it didn't state that the vice president would become the president. Just assume the powers of the presidential office. Tyler's like, yeah, no, I'm the president now. And he set the precedent for how presidential successions work to this day. So, what's the legacy of William Henry Harrison? Well, not a lot in terms of policy. He didn't even have time to unpack his bags at the White House. But his death taught the nation that it needed a clear plan for presidential succession. It also helped to elevate the power of the vice presidency, which John Adams detested. Now, Harrison is now a symbol of how unpredictable history can be. You can win the presidency with slogans and parades, but it can all come crashing down in a matter of weeks. So, there we go. Now there's something else you know. Thanks a lot.